258. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Easy. Hey, 88.
Hey, exit.
Mike 20. Watch the slants. There we go, Mike 20.
On first down, Rodgers. Man open, it's Goodwin. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And he is the NFC rating offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
Hey, Haywood.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I'm coming, baby.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
SOS. Kill. Check 4.
Check 30. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Safe.
Inside. Hey, wahoo!
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Rodgers now on first down. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch out. Check. Lucky.
Lane 5-3.
Alert 3.
Black, come on.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot. He's checking. Tyson. 357. Hey, Zoo. Here, sit. Wait, sit.
Now Wentz. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Each team's had it, each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
319. Your track. Live. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's.
Hey, Delta.
Here we go. Check.
And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
630. Inside.
20, Mike, 20.
Smooth.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
There go Mike 20. Back north.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Mike 20. Bring that down.
Rodgers going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Man, please find 7.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Check 3.
Good move at the 30, and they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. These two teams all tied after one. The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check. Pilot, 64, weak. Back north. 36.
They'll run it with Jones. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Get 300. 52's the mic right here over there. Go. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23.
Hey, 26.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
First down, Eagles.
Here we go. Back man.
Let's go. Quick dance. Come. Hey, check 24. Watch 20. Jim.
A first down carry now for Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. It's a big run there by McCoy. 48 yards on the ground. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Let's make these babies cry.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. They come up in an offset eye. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Eagles have retaken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Hey, check 26. Hey, go.
At the 31-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Hey, Alpha.
From the 31, Rodgers. Jones has it. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So
and that's caught inside the 35. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Gonna throw deep. Touchdown, Packers. Marquise Goodwin with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He'll have a first down past the 40. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I got you, son. I got you, son. 58, boy, 58.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done.
Lamar Miller, 30, past the 20, touchdown, Philadelphia. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. The throw down the field caught by his running back. It'll be a gain of 9, and they're going to face a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Lewis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
First and 10 at the 43.
Rodgers now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Bravo!
And again, it's Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
There we go. Back pass. Waiting.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
Sponge! 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 No, no, no!
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Quick pass out to Miller. Given 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Hey, watch that, man. Watch the ball.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Shoot! Shoot! Mike 42, Mike 42.
In your face.
Hey, stand.
49, check 49, check 49.
81.
Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now this time Rodgers will throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
It's a gain of 14 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Hey, high 7.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Again, it's Miller. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. midfield. Here's Wentz. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Packers pick it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leaders...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz, he's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wentz now to throw. This is caught by Jackson. A gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here we go. Here we go. Mike, this is Pittsburgh. Check. Mike 42. I'm coming after you.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long.
5-9, 5-9. Here, shoot. Know your job.
To throw is Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
57, 57. Hey, wahoo! Oh, here we go. 58 for Mike, 58. 58 for Mike. Let's go, let's go. Bang! Ram. Bang, bang. Check. Check, hot route. Hot. Man, 5-7. Slam.
Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
The Packers take over first and 10.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Again, it's Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, take 26. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 50. Hey, zoom. I'm coming. Look again.
Here's Rodgers. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Check that. We want Mike 52 right here. Not here. Mike 52.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Incomplete. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, Mike 52. Jump out. Here we go, team. Here I come. Mike 52.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
88. Let's bring it. Smooth. 52's the mark, boy. 52. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
To the 50.
Choose the mic. Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
Hey, orbit. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2.
Rodgers again now. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. On first down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now Rodgers going to throw again. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. This complete to Jones. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That is caught at the 7. The field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
Fourth down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to cash.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Go.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Stay with your man.
They'll run with Miller. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
big number, big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Flex mode, this is Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though.